Hey, Orchinistas, all you orchid enthusiasts out there and orchid lovers just like I am. Welcome to my channel, Forever Orchids. Guess what? You already know. You guessed it right. I got more orchids. Yes, I really do need all these orchids. Went into my local hardware store. I just went in for a couple of screws. Over here, over my shoulder here, you'll see some more lights. Yeah, I have so many now that I need to figure out ways to house them during the winter. So I'm trying to set up a little console table over there with lights on it and working on getting the smaller seedlings underneath those and any of the other smaller, maybe Phalaenopsis as well. But anyway, I went in to get a couple of screws and I've started becoming friends with one of the ladies that works there in the gardening center. So she saw me as soon as I walked in the door and she said, "We got more." And I was like, "Let's go." She meant more bag babies. This is the first time I've ever, this year in 2023, been exposed to bag babies. I found them back in South Carolina earlier this year, and I went crazy buying some. Never had I seen them in my state in hardware stores. They started getting them in. So she said, "Do you like green orchids?" And I was like, "Let's go." So in becoming friends with her, she grows a few orchids in her home, and I've been able to teach her a few things about some orchids, so she's really appreciative when I come in. And so anyway, let me show you what we got. Is a lot. Is a lot. Is a lot. Is a lot. If they just keep on coming, and they keep on coming, and they just keep on coming. And we're gonna open them up and look at them and look at the condition of the plants. Okay, you ready? Whoop! Let's get started. So I'm gonna save the green orchid for last, and we're gonna start with this one here. Now they come, the larger 4-inch come in bags, hence why they're called bag babies. The little smaller 2-inch comes in a net. Here we go. This is the way they come in more of a net bag. So this one here, I have something similar to this, but I don't have exactly this particular plant. So let me get the rubber band off of here and let's look at this plant. This is BL Yellowbird. Now, Yellowbird is a cross between a species, Brassavola nodosa, and it is crossed with a BL Richard Mueller. It's now no longer BL. I think it's a BC now for Brassicatlia, and it is a Richard Mueller. Now, Richard Mueller happens to be also 50%, one of its parents is Brassavola nodosa. So they took Richard Mueller, crossed it back onto nodosa, and they have what they call Yellowbird. And so this is the tag that came with it, and I will post the name of the plant and a picture of it. And okay, so far, and it could be due to the rubber band, old leaf looks like, it definitely looks like the rubber band kind of crushed this leaf here, and that's okay. The plant still has a lot of good new growth in it. Now, the reason why I got this plant is I was able to try to look the best I could through the bag, and this has a lot of new growth on it. So there is a new growth here, one right here, and let's see here. There is, I saw another one in here. There's a little one coming up right there. And this could be easily, oh, I think this is a new growth. Here's another one. So a lot of new growth. These typically are very prolific. It won't take long to get this into specimen size. The other reason why I got this was I could already see the flower sheets on it. Look at those flower sheets there. One right here, one right here. And I thought I saw a third one through the bag, but maybe I didn't. I just know that there was a lot of new growth on it, and I saw those flower sheets. So I got that one. I'll set that one to the side. If you can get there when they first get the plants, you're going to be better off. The plants are going to be in way more better condition than if they kind of sit there for quite a while. And one of the reasons is the bag is stapled to the tag here. And what ends up happening is it just really makes the 4-inch pots really difficult for the employees to water them. And a lot of times you just have employees that they don't know that much about plants, maybe. They don't really care that much. And even if they do try to water it, well, it's just going to sit in the water's just going to sit in the bag because they're not going to think to pour it out. Now, the lady that I have become friends with at my local store, she was telling me she goes in the little holes that are right here in the bag and she waters the plants, and then she goes back, and it is difficult for her, but she then tries to get a lot of the water out of them. These are much easier for the employees to water, and then all she has to do is just water them, and then she can dump the water out of the tray after they've drained. Okay, enough about that. Now, this one here, I do have this plant already in my collection. The reason why I got this one is it's much taller. It's more mature than the one that I have. This is and the tag says one thing. The tag says it is yeah, I'm going to let you guys read the tag here so that you can see what this is called. But then the tag that was in it is still saying it's an Epilalia cattleya, an EPLC. This is Jackie Bright Hilo Stars. This is an orange with a yellow throat, maybe a kind of a light, darkish yellow, or something like that. So anyway, I got this one here. We've already got some back bulbs here. The leaves are turning brown. It's in desperate need of water, but it has a good new growth right here. Very tall here. I'm going to say, let's see here. It's very possible these two are relatively new growths because their pseudobulbs haven't started plumping out yet. So I can look at the plant and kind of determine what is more of the new growth. Yeah, so there's 3 pseudobulbs in here. You can see they're a little dehydrated here. All 3 of those have new growth on them and much taller than the plant that I currently have. So we have that one. Okay, and then some of the little ones here. So to save some time, I went ahead and unpackaged this one here. This is a cute little thing. New growth coming out right here. This is an RLC Windy Tanaka. And the clonal name is Volcano Queen. So this would have been one that would have been an Akatsuko Orchids. I have a lot of those orchids. I've ordered from them. I've done some unboxings from them. I really, really like their plants. I like their customer service. Really great. But this is a beautiful white cattleya with yellow in the lip. Look at the picture here. Is it not gorgeous? And it appears from Akatsuko's website. They don't sell this right now, but if you Google search the name, a lot of times you can find kind of like an archive kind of, and they are showing the plant appears to be relatively short and nice short fat pseudobulbs. So this should be a compact cattleya, which is really good for growing indoors in my environment. Okay, so let's see here. This one here, here's the tag for this, yellow with a red lip cattleya. Now, when you look at these tags, sometimes that's not exactly the plant. You need to make sure you can find the tag that's in it, and then just do a Google search while you're in the store and see what that looks like. This is a beautiful little cattleya, and what I ended up doing was I did Google search this while I was in the store. This is, again, another one that came from Akatsuko Orchids, and it is RLC Gerthrip Sugi Volcano Queen. This is a yellow with a red lip, so you're still, the picture's close, but this isn't necessarily exactly what it's going to look like. From what I can tell from the pictures, it's yellow and it has like orange in the throat and it's got pink kind of in the lip, like a dark pink. So let's look at this one here together. So what I can tell, seedling, very small. And if you'll look here, let's take the tag out here. If you look at this pseudobulb right here, you see how the sheath on it looks a little dry? This is an older pseudobulb. This pseudobulb here is green and the leaf is not quite as tall as this. This is the new growth for this year. And so we're going to, with all of my orchids, when they first come into my environment, I'm going to soak them in some sea kelp and get them hydrated. But then the sea kelp also helps them with the stress of coming into a new environment. You have to think about what they've been through. They were in a greenhouse somewhere. Better-Gro's in Florida. Is it Sundance Orchid? No, not Sundance. Sun something is kind of like their parent company. So they're down in Florida. So then they're traveling in a dark transport, probably in a box. They're being transported. And then they sit out on a shelf. They don't get watered very often. And if they do, they could easily be overwatered. So I just like to use some sea kelp extract with my plants when they're first coming into the environment here, just to help out with that stress. It helps them also put out new growth and new roots. This is not quite the time. This is September, and this is not quite the time that they would have new growth. Seedlings, however, especially if I put them under lights, they're going to continue to grow a lot during the fall. Even if I don't change the lighting length of time that the lights are on, I can continue to get them to grow. I just haven't decided. I'm growing a lot more under lights this year than I ever have in many years. And so I'm not quite sure yet what my day length is going to be during the winter. So I probably am still going to shut them off and not have them go 14 hours or longer like I would in the summer. So I'm probably still going to do a little bit of that, but we'll see. Okay, so this is an RLC, and they have it spelled wrong on the tag here. They've got it CANTON, but this is, it's like CAOTUN, I think it is. It's Canton Beauty. This is a very large purple. The pictures look like it's a really, really dark purple, but what I like about it is it had some yellow in the lip that I really liked. And I'm just kind of looking down in here, pulling away some of the sheath that is around some of these pseudobulbs. And in doing so, I'm finding a new growth. We had an old dried leaf that I've pulled out of this one. Okay, so what we've got here is this taller pseudobulb here. From what I can tell on the rhizome, first growth, second growth. This growth then produced this pseudobulb. This smaller growth also has another new growth that it's pushing out right here. Then this growth is pushing out this new one here. So that's really good. And that's one of the things that the sea kelp will help with as well. It will help kickstart some of the hormones and give the plant the ability, help the plant with its nutrients of going ahead and letting this older pseudobulb push out this second growth here. But look at that flower. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? Gorgeous. I don't have anything in my collection in a Cattleya that is that dark, dark purple. I still think it's going to be a red. Okay, so those were the small ones, and then those, and then you ready for the green one? Let's look at this green one here together. Okay, now the tag just says it is a green art shade Cattleya. So we just have a green Cattleya. So yeah, the flowers are going to look similar to this, but I'll put up the picture here for what this is. I had never heard of this one before. I think you guys are familiar with the RLC. Used to be BLC. It's now RLC. and the one that is called Port of Paradise. And then there's an awarded clone called Emerald Isle. That's a parent of this one here. This is RLC Fringe Benefits. So it still is going to have that frilly, real frilly, segmented, more so than other cattleyas, segmented, what am I trying to say? Lip, okay? Alrighty. And, oh, by the way, the clonal name of this is called Green Angel. And they only had 2 of these, and I grabbed one of them because, like, some of these smaller ones, I mean, they probably had 10 of these, same cross. But these here, they only had a couple. And like I said, I grabbed one. Okay, so this is a cross between, ooh, I'll have to look it up and put it down below here, and I can put it in the description. But I do know that Port of Paradise is, oh, I know what it is. It is the RLC Port of Paradise crossed back onto Digbyana, the RLC Digbyana. And that is giving this one a little bit more of a fringe lip and a fuller lip. From the pictures, it looked fuller. Okay, so this one really, really good here. It's too young to bloom, so there's no sheath coming with this new growth here. But it looks good. We've got some older pseudobulbs that kind of are dying back. We've got some dead, older dead leaves in here. And that's perfectly fine. According to the tag, I don't know when they give a date on the tag, whether or not that is the date they repotted it into a 4-inch, or is that the date it came out of flask. It's possible. I don't know. 2023 now, and this says October of 2021. I'm not sure that this has been out of flask only 2 years. Most of the time, you can count the pseudobulbs, and a lot of times that will give you an idea of how long it's been at a flask, but you can't always determine that. There were some other pseudobulbs that have already died back, so this has probably been at a flask probably for 3-4 years, maybe. I'd probably say maybe more like 4. I like to take the dried sheaths, growth sheaths off. Those are great places for bugs to hide. And so I can pull those off and see if we've got any problems. But that is what I just got from my local home improvement store. And I look forward to growing these, getting them outside next year in the summertime, seeing how much growth we can get on them during the growing season and get these little guys blooming as fast as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget, at the end, there will be other videos for other hauls. I'll link there some of my other Better-Gro hauls. I've also done a Better-Gro update from where I got the plants back in early May. I did like a 3-4 month update on those so you can see how much those have grown. And don't forget, I also have Instagram, Forever Orchids. It's forever_orchids. And so go check out the Instagram page. I post pictures of other orchids, not necessarily all that are in my collection, but some that are in local greenhouses and conservatories that I currently volunteer in. So it gives you a broader spectrum of different types of orchids that maybe you wouldn't necessarily see in your local nurseries. And until next time, guys, happy orchid growing. Bye.